Bonjour à tous. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel Sapiens. My name is Vishnu and I'm a PhD student trying to understand some interesting questions in biological sciences. Today I'm going to talk about how DNA of a person can define the external features of that person. Theoretically speaking, it is very possible because DNA is the genetic information of a person which actually defines what that person actually is at the moment and what will be in his future. But practically speaking, the DNA itself is very complicated, the information in it, and to extract that information and make a meaningful outcome, this is a tedious process and this is not possible now without the help of the computers. Ideally speaking, we should be able to tell what part of the DNA is going to control the color of our eyes, the skin color, the hair, and how the hair looks and everything. But when you deeply analyze the DNA, you can see that there are several players inside the DNA which together control these particular features. And sometimes it's just 10 players like that. Sometimes there are several players that come together and make a particular feature of that. So the recent researchers in biological sciences was able to predict the eye color of a person just from the DNA sequence. So they have isolated or they have found a region of the DNA which can predict the eye color of that person. Similarly, it goes with the skin tone or hair color, etc., etc. But when it comes to the whole organism, or if you want to predict the complete shape of a person, it will be much more complicated because there will be several players in the DNA which controls that particular process. So starting from a smaller example where I will talk about the scientist identified or predicted the eye color, the hair color of a skeleton which lived 10,000 years ago. Yes. So this skeleton or the skull is called Cheddar Man. So this is the oldest full skeleton identified in one of the cave in Somerset, UK. So the scientists in London Natural History Museum isolated the DNA from the skull of this full skeleton and made a DNA sequencing, and now we know the complete genome sequence of this Cheddar Man lived 10,000 years ago. Talking about Cheddar Man, he used to belong to a group called Western hunter-gatherers which used to live in Eastern Europe like Spain, Hungary, Luxembourg, etc. And these people on that time migrated from the mainland Europe to the UK region via a small land called Doggerland which existed at that time. And from that period onwards, from 10,000 years ago, these people have continuously populated the UK island. And today, at the moment, 10% of the Britishers are the descendant of these Cheddar Man. Talking about the DNA sequence, the scientists have now made an amazing discovery about this Cheddar Man. Surprisingly, they found that from the genome sequencing, the Cheddar Man had blue eyes and dark skin tone and dark hair color. And this is very surprising because such a combination for a person is rarely existing at the moment. This observation about the skin color of Cheddar Man also indicates that the white skin tone of the people of the Europe has recently evolved during the course of evolution. So all those white dudes who are racist, please beware or aware that your ancestors might be a dark colored one. Moving on to the next complicated step, to predict the whole facial feature or a face of a person from genome, this is a little complicated process. For example, in the case of a Cheddar Man, they were just predicting the eye color, the skin tone and the hair color, etc. And they made a complete model of the Cheddar Man from the skeletal structure they have obtained. So they reconstructed the face and displayed in the social media in recent days. But a research group led by Croat Med J have shown that even it is possible to predict the face of a person just from his genomic sequence. Basically, they can have the DNA sequence of a person and take a printout or a photo-like picture of that person without even clicking a single snapshot of that person. You want to know how it is done? I will explain it. Basically, Craig Venter and his team studied a group of people in San Diego. So there were around 1,000 people in that study group, and they were of different ethnic groups like Africans, Americans, Europeans, Latins, Asians, etc. And they were also of different age group. And then what they did is they took three-dimensional pictures of each of these individuals, and along with that they measured the eye, they measured the skin tone, measured the voice, measured the height, everything. And all this information now they fed on to the computer. So now they are using a very promising technology in computer science, which is called machine learning. Now via machine learning, what they are doing is they're using all this information, the genome sequence of this 1,000 people plus all the information they have gathered. They are training the computer to understand what part of the genome is controlling the face or controlling the feature of the person. So basically they are using this as a training set for the computer to understand how the things are going on. And by this, the machine can learn, the computer can learn and create an algorithm to predict if you have a new genome sequence given. For example, if I give my genome sequence or if I give them a DNA of mine, what they can do is they can totally sequence, extract the information of my DNA and fed on to this particular algorithm they have developed. So now what the computer can do is the computer will analyze the features of my genome and compare to the already existing database which they got from those 1,000 people from San Diego. And the now computer will make a very good prediction and give a printout of my photo. Yes, photo, without even taking a single snapshot of mine. Yes, it was really amazing when I saw this paper. It's so cool. It has so many applications because, for example, the most important application will be in forensic science. See, if you have a suspect and have a DNA sample, what they can do is simply sequence this DNA and feed onto the computer. And the computer can predict the image of the suspect, and the investigation is much more faster and easy. The success rate of this algorithm with the research of Craig Venter is an amazing 8 out of 10. So what that means is if you give 10 sequence to the computer, 8 out of the predictions of the computer will be very similar to the original person. How cool is that, isn't it? Yeah, the field of research or science is really exciting like this. Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you like this information, and if you really enjoy my videos, like this video, share them along with your friends and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And if you have any suggestions or comments or questions, please write down below in my comment section. Okay, see you guys. Ciao.